So, for time saving's sake, just go over my day in one whole video. That way, I'm not putting everything together in a 45-minute video of nothing fucking going my way. Got the master cylinder yesterday, bench bled it. Noticed I had a alternator belt broke. I knew they needed replaced anyway, but it had broke last time I was up here messing with it, and I found it laying under it. So, wanted to just go ahead and bench bleed the master cylinder, let it sit overnight, go to town, get the belts, and that way when I got up here today, I could throw the belts on it, bleed the brakes, maybe try to drive this thing. Well, got the wrong belts. Kind of my fault. I didn't think the ones they gave me looked right, but it was a new guy. He was still learning the system and how to find parts and stuff, so I just kind of let him do his thing. Because normally I just grab the belts that I need and walk back behind the counter to the rack and just eyeball what belt I need. Well, I got the wrong ones. One's a bit too short, and I just don't think they're the right belts past that. They're kind of a little wider than they should be too. But I was like, all right, no big deal. I can go ahead and bleed these brakes, and won't really get to test them today because I didn't want to run the car or start the truck with, no alternator and no water pump running, so whatever. Went to start mounting this, and master cylinder went in fine. That one went in fine. That one didn't want to go in at all. And I had made a video of, a trick that I've learned through the years, and I'll just go ahead and go over that now. I rarely cross thread anything, but one of the easiest ways to do it is putting brake lines back into the master cylinder. It's just the threads are so tiny, and on a lot of vehicles there's not a lot of slack in the brake lines, which with this one there's all the slack you could ever want. Like, it looks like a fucking Hot Wheels track down here. There's about 4 loops in each one. So I wasn't real worried about this one, but on most other vehicles there's not a lot of slack in that line, so it's really easy to go to thread it in and take your finger off of it, and it'll bite the threads, but it will, as soon as you let off of it, it'll shift just at every little bit, just from the tension that's pushing against the line, and that's enough to cross thread them. Well, that's what I was worried was happening with that one, because it wouldn't thread. So I pulled it back out and just kind of brushed the threads. You should do that anyway, but it's not normally a problem. But I brushed the threads, it threaded in fine. So I start trying to bleed it on back passenger. Oh, excuse me. I'm getting nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. My little bleeder is holding pressure, and it's just not pulling anything through. So I'm thinking, well, maybe it's just got a lot of air in it from where it sat overnight with the lines off of it, which it shouldn't have got much air in it with the lines off of it because the other end wasn't unhooked. So I should have been getting something through that line. Wasn't getting nothing through it. I was like, all right, maybe the bleeder valve's clogged. So I just went ahead, pulled it all the way out. No fluid came out when I pulled it out. And I pulled the bleeder valve out, blew through it, and it's fine. I better not have lost that other one. Okay. Blew through it. It's fine. Okay. Maybe that line's clogged. Let's move to the other one, see if I can get anything through it. Move to the driver's side one, same thing, except it's definitely pulling nothing through it. On the passenger side one, I could pump it and watch the gauge come down a little bit, but I still wasn't getting any fluid out of it. So I moved to the driver's side, and this one's completely stopped up. I tried passing, a little piece of wire through it, and I'm getting nothing through it at all. And it's already coming up on like 3 p.m. So I just pulled this one out. I'm gonna go to the parts store and get at least one of these. Because now that I think about it, I'm not sure that these front calipers are going to be the same size bleeder valve, but get one of these, come back tomorrow, and with the belts that I need, and we're going to try this again. I'm hoping that none of the lines are clogged, but that's a possibility. I guess if I have to, I can pull this rear line off of the master cylinder and try to pump pressure through it to see if I can get anything coming out the other side. But it's already pretty late in the day. I've got a couple other things I've got to go and do, so we'll try this again tomorrow. I hate it when this happens. Got everything going so well, so smoothly, and then boom, little stupid stuff starts happening. So what you get with these old vehicles. They're easy to work on mechanically, but when you're dealing with stuff that hasn't been touched in 20, 30, 40 years, you have problems like this. So we'll try this again tomorrow. Worst case scenario, if I'm still not getting any, if I can't get any fluid to the rear drums, maybe I can at least start getting fluid to these front brakes and go from there. But the lines look good. I ran the line from the engine bay all the way to the back axle. There's no leaks. There's nothing rusted through. I don't know. We'll see. Try again tomorrow.